Hi, my name is George, and this will be my 2025 Game of the Year list. Now, looking at my list, I only played 12 games from this year, and the bottom couple, I'll say, were on Xbox Game Pass. So you know what that means. You jump in for an hour and then you never play it again. So it's a bit of an unfair list, and I don't want to just say them for the sake of it. So it won't be a top 10 list, it will be a top 7 list. So, coming in at number 7, Doom The Dark Ages. And yeah, I played this on Game Pass. I didn't actually finish the game, but that's part of the reason why it's so low. It was good, but it got very long in the tooth, which means it should have been over before it was over. And looking at the how long to beat.com, there was much more to do than I had the capacity to enjoy. Doom The Dark Ages is the third in this reboot of Doom. I still think Doom 2016 is the best of the three, where they just had it simple. Doom Eternal added all sorts of mechanics. It became a real juggling game where you had to really look at your resources and use them carefully during battle. And Doom The Dark Ages follows through this. Now you have a shield or another accessory, and you can parry. And it follows... It feels and looks the same, like the music feels the same and the enemies look the same, but I find the whole pace of the game it's different than Doom 2016. Because in Doom 2016 it was very much shoot the guys. In this one it's parry, dodge, dash, double jump, hookshot. I can't remember if there's a hookshot, but I wouldn't be surprised. And it's fun. The setting is bonkers. It's like, from what I remember, Doomguy has been summoned into this kind of sci-fi space opera world where you've got Vikings versus robots, something similar to that. And you're the puppet of this one team, and they're using you as a battle weapon. Another thing it adds is quote-unquote vehicle sections. There's one where you pilot a giant mech version of Doomguy, and there's one where you pilot a dragon. The mech doesn't actually feel that different than being Doomguy. You just feel slow and sluggish, and it's silly. I just wanted to get out of the vehicles and back on the ground, but even the ground experience was not as good as it used to be. So that's why it's so low on the list. That's why I didn't finish it. It's still real high quality, but it didn't have a lasting appeal. Okay, next on the list is Pokemon Legends ZA. And this was a fun ride. At the place I work, a bunch of people started playing it. And I was under the impression that this was a Switch 2 game, so I never picked it up until they told me they're all playing it on Switch 1. Oh, right. So I got it. I was late. They'd all finished and they were swapping like late game Pokemon to 100% the Pokédex, but they were saying such good things about it that I picked it up. And it's a good game for a Pokemon game, which is a low standard of Pokemon games these days. Scarlet and Violet were just... I tried to beat them twice now, and I get about 10 hours in and just want to stop. They're not enjoyable. And it's not just the visuals, it's the pacing is off. And they went open world when they shouldn't have. Another game in my list, I can talk about that. But what Pokemon ZA is you're in the city, can't remember what it's called. Although I just don't know how to pronounce it. Begins with L. You're in the city from X and Y, and you're just in the city. So expect rooftops and sewers. These both appear. And it feels very small, but I think that's to its benefit. You can walk around the whole city, and the way they justify having Pokemon there is they've opened these Pokemon zones where it's a zone where Pokemon can be and you can go and catch them. Although Pokemon do appear around the city as well, and on roofs and, like I said, in the sewer, these zones are where it's at. The problem is, Pokemon is still a game for babies. It's too easy. If you've played any game ever, if you've played a JRPG, it's so easy to overlevel, maximize. You have to put restraints on yourself. So my one was, I'm never going to Mega Evolve. I have to walk everywhere. And what was the other? Oh, I didn't evolve any Pokemon. I said no Pokemon can evolve in my party. Okay. I did end up breaking these rules later on because I got to the point where I just wanted to finish the game. But I tell you, I did not have problem with difficulty, because once you know the weakness types, you build a broad team of your favorite guys. It's easy. And what is the thing in Pokemon games recently with trainers only having 2 or 1 or 3 Pokemon? You never see someone with 5 or 4 or 6. Don't they know you can hold up to 6? And having more, and having a more diverse cast of teammates will ensure more victory. And it's not hard to catch these guys. I just throw a ball at a Pidgey and I got it, you know? It's I don't know. I wish there was a hard mode. I wish we could flip a switch that said, I've played a game before. I've played a Pokemon game before. I want it hard. I digress. It's still on my list. I still beat it. It's great. That's the problem. The battle system is so fun. So it's kind of semi-turn-based. I think it's turn-based under the hood. But you can move around. You can tell your guys to do moves, and then what happens is some moves become way more useful now, because there are moves that before were not useful. Like you'd get rid of a move like Leer because it just lowers their defense. But now you find out, oh, Leer only takes a little bit of time to cast. So I'll Leer and then I'll do Solar Beam. Solar Beam takes a long time to cast, but now you're thinking about casting speeds, which is a good development for Pokemon. I would be happy if the next mainline game took this idea and developed it. It was a real breath of fresh air. I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the battling I did and all the capturing I did. Another thing that I didn't like, which they just should get rid of, is the plodding story. This slice of life, we're all your friends story is so boring. And I can't be the only one who, when a cutscene happens, is just checking my phone, talking to my wife. I am not interested. These lackluster JRPG stories. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this review. But they need to cut it down or go away, because they're not enjoyable to me. Me personally, I don't know. Maybe you enjoy them, but for me, despite that, this game is on my list, and I really enjoyed it. I actually really like having a limited Pokedex as well. There wasn't many Pokemon on it, and some of the Megalo evolutions were great. And because I wasn't doing any Megalo evolutions myself, they were real challenges. It felt like a Souls boss. But this is with my own restrictions. Anyway, I'd be interested how you would Nuzlocke this game. That'd be interesting. Anyway, I really recommend it. If you haven't played a Pokemon game on Switch, or you haven't played one in a while, or you've only played the mainline games, this one's great. Really, really good. I know I sound very, very negative, but remember, despite all that, I loved it. Anyway, that is my next game. Next is a latecomer. I started playing this in December and I still haven't finished it, so I can't speak fully on it, but it is Borderlands 4. And what Borderlands 4 brings to the Borderlands table is more Borderlands. But with Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, Borderlands, sometimes you just want more. It doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. And I'm in the flow of it. I'm soloing it, I'm just totally offline. I'm not even paying for PS Plus right now, so I couldn't if I wanted to. But I've always played these games like this, and when I do a subsequent playthrough, I'll turn on online, or I'll jump into other people's games. Borderlands is the looter shooter. The guns are customized, they have custom parts. You never really know what you're gonna get with a gun. Guns come in rarity, you can see their stats. You can't really tell how good a gun is until you've tried it yourself and does it fit your style. like for example, I found this sniper where the stats were really low, but it fired these kind of grenades that stuck to guys, and after 5 seconds of being stuck, the grenades all explode at once. So it did insane damage, and it was a low-level gun that I kept for a long time. And you kind of form these stories with your guns. I've got this assault rifle right now, which is just it's a Jacobs. If you know the Borderlands guns, Jacobs guns are high power, basic guns. Like, they don't have any like freeze or the fire or the toxic or whatever the poison's called in this game. They don't have any bells and whistles. They're imagine like a cowboy machine gun. It's like that. But this assault rifle, oh, it's so good. The sights are nice. You line up headshots, the guys die so quickly, and I don't want to see it go. But right now, that's my favorite. And as you level up, better guns come your way. You loot better loot, and you replace basically the 4 guns that you keep on you at all times. My guy, the guy I chose, can't remember his name, but I really like his personality. They've really cut down on the, well, three had the worst of this, but like the dumb humor, and it's all dumb. Borderlands 4 is dumb. Borderlands 1 is dumb, but they've cut it down, and the comedy, it has made me laugh a few times, and the character is appealing. I can't talk about the other guys because I haven't played them or encountered them. His special that you can set off is he has these, well, the way I've set it up is he's got these 2 extra guns that pop out of his shoulders, so you can shoot and have these 2 guns firing at the same time. And I've set them up so when you press L1, once a special, you fire this like nuclear grenade thing, and it's spectacular. Yet seeing numbers get bigger and bigger, and these numbers fly off these enemies, it's just that kind of dopamine hit. And yeah, I really like it. I'd say in the Borderlands, in the series, this is probably my second favorite behind 1. So now it'd go 1, 4, 2, and then right down at the bottom 3. Oh, I forgot about Wonderlands. Wonderlands was really good. Wonderlands would probably be number 2, actually. Let's see. So it'd go 1, Wonderlands, 4, 2, and then 3. All right, the next was, can't believe this exists, but it's called Warriors Abyss. And it's a Koei Tecmo game where they had a look at, I don't know, Hades and Vampire Survivors and their own series and crushed it together. And it's that kind of game where it's a top-down view, which is different from the series. And you go through levels of a dungeon of increasing difficulty. And it's a lot of fun. I will say once I beat it, I didn't go back to it, but the journey to beating it was so addictive and so much fun. It includes Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Atelier characters, and other characters like there's Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive characters in there. And what it is you start off and you level up, and when you level up, you choose another Warriors hero to join you. And you've got slots down the bottom, and when they join you, they enter a slot. And when you're doing a combo, let's say square, square. Now square, square, R2, I think it's R2, occupies this new character space, and square, square, R2 will launch their attack. And you can have up to 6 characters at the bottom, so you've got all these attacks that you can launch, and they just layer and layer. And as you go through the dungeon, you get basically doorways, 3 doorways. Do you want to level up your HP? Do you want a new character in your roster? Do you want more spending money for the outside of the game shop so you can buy more characters? And you go down this path. You know what it really reminds me of is like an action version of Slay the Spire, like that. And then there's world tiers. So once you beat the last boss, it unlocks the next world tier. I believe there was 5. And that last one, the last boss took like half an hour, but I had such a good build that I was recovering health like crazy, so it was just a matter of time. But that's what's great about these games, is that mastery of the systems. At the end of the day, you're not doing that much. It's square, 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 square. But it's the setup, it's the in the menu stuff that that provides a lot of the fun. So yeah, that was a really great game, and I was totally surprised by it. I didn't expect much of it, and I didn't expect them to make it either. On a related note, my third favorite game of the year was Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is we'll call it like a reboot of the series, although it's a pretty big departure, and it's kind of like a spin-off as well. Because, well, usually in Dynasty Warriors game, you have a huge cast of characters, and you choose one or two guys to go through a story with. There's two types of ways they do this. They either do, okay, this guy has a 6-chapter story, or this army has a 20-chapter story. And I think maybe there's one where they go through the whole story of the Three Kingdoms, but this one's different because you start as a new character to the series. You're a nameless warrior dressed in black, and you start at the beginning of the Three Kingdoms story, and you work your way through, meeting all the characters along the way. You start by helping Liu Bei and Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and it gave you a really good understanding of the story, and it's a complicated and long story, but this is the best breakdown they've done, and the story was great. Somewhere in the middle, you have to choose a side. You have to choose Wei Wu or Shu, and go with them. But there was a lot of choice. It gave you an open world map. It's like a miniature diorama map that you went around helping people. You had to do character specific requests, and it's funny, a lot of the discourse around this game says it's really homoerotic, and I have to say, yeah, it is. There's most of the cutscenes are like this, right? Muscular bodybuilder men with their shirts off, telling each other how cool they are. I mean, how cool the other person is, and how they'd like to spend tonight talking with them, and things like that. Just look it up. Look up some cutscenes. Guan Yu in particular is particularly like this. By the way, the characters have all been redesigned, and they look fantastic. They look fantastic. I'm not saying anything. They just look crisp and nice. And you're going into these battlefields. This is how Dynasty Warriors has always worked. You kill thousands of dudes. You take bases, and there'll be a general that you have to kill, or some mission you have to fulfill. But they've upped it. They've upped the graphics, and they've upped the number of dudes on screen. It is unbelievable. It feels like a PS5 Dynasty Warriors, for sure. Long since the days of the Mist, in Dynasty Warriors 2 or 3 or 5, or I didn't mention 4. 4, where you got guys on screen. There's lots of guys, but it's misty, and some of them fade out, etc. This one, wow, it just feels 1,000 guys that you cut down. And now there's this new thing where if a big enough battlefield happens, the battlefield itself gets a health bar, and you have your officers and their officers, and if you kill their officers, the battlefield health bar goes down. If they launch an attack, like they can summon catapults, if you don't take care of them, yours goes down. If you do like a side assault, if you rally some guys over here and it's successful, the health goes down. So it's a really fascinating way, and it's so addictive. I beat this game in the summer. I was playing it constantly. I couldn't wait to see what happened. Anyway, music's great as always. It's got that hard rock style / techno that the series has always had. And this is the thing I'll leave this one with, is the thing that sucks about the game is you're stuck with one character. You can only play as one character. He has 8 weapons, so we could consider him 8 characters, which is fine. But the Dynasty Warriors always, they let you play with all the characters. So what I'm really interested in is what they do next. If they take these graphics and this battle system into the next game, and they give you all the characters, all the famous characters at least, it could be a fantastic game, and I really look forward to whatever they put out next. All right, my number 2 game of the year is called Megabonk. Now, this was recommended to me because it was, do you like Vampire Survivors? Yes, I do. This was my game of the year a couple of years ago. Well, this is kind of like 3D Vampire Survivors. It's got kind of a PS1 look to it, although not the frame rate or the vibe. You pick a character and you're running around this world and taking down enemies who drop money and they drop experience. And as you level up, you can choose to add a weapon to your character, to add a tome. A tome gives you extra abilities such as critical chance or critical damage, movement speed, that kind of thing. And you keep going until you die. Well, that's the original goal, but then you realize, there's late bosses coming, and I don't think there's an end game now, and in fact the creator keeps adding to the game, so I can't really consider it beat, because I've just beat the first boss, but now there's a new level, so... The joy in the game is the amount of enemies on screen, kind of like Dynasty Warriors Origin, and just the spectacle. Because the graphics are so low, I can maintain on my old PC quite a high frame rate while there's thousands of dudes and there's thousands of fireballs going off. And as you progress, you can unlock more weapon slots, and that's huge. You can have up to 4 weapons and 4 tomes, and once you've reached that stage, I think you're ready to beat the game. You're ready to end the game. But like I said, the dude keeps adding more, and there's still characters I haven't beaten. There's a lot of like tiered challenges, so once you've beat the 3rd tier of this game, it unlocks the 3rd tier of the desert level, for example, where things get harder. And Vampire Survivors did this. I think it's easy to produce for the maker and easy to scale. So it's a very relaxing game. In fact, you can turn your mind off. And I was listening to albums and listening to podcasts while doing it. And it was a great game just to play once. Like you play for a run and play 20 minutes and die, and you'd be like, okay, that's enough. Played it a lot over the Christmas season there. Really, really cool game, and it's on Steam. It's not much. I really recommend Megabonk. Okay, and then we have my game of the year, which is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I've got it on PS5. And if you watched my previous video, there was a Sonic Racing game in that. It was Sonic Racing Transformed on the PS3. So maybe I'm biased, but I immediately jumped on this the day when it came out. I was so excited because this sub-series of Sonic, now there are 4 of them, there are 4 games, just brings the best of Sonic. The best music, the best personality. I'm actually happy they've moved away from the Sega brand and they've just got the Sonic characters, because they fit, and there's enough worlds in the Sonic universe to fill up a game like this. And that's why I keep asking for a Sonic Generations 2, because since then there's been plenty more worlds. Anyway, what you got here is the most frantic racing game, the most frantic kart racing game that I've ever played. It is like ADHD, the game. What do I mean by that? Well, the rubber banding is harsh. There is always guys behind you or in front of you or to the side of you. They give you weapons all the time, and these weapons are very, very powerful. There's rings to collect, there's boost pads, there's drifting, there's the levels themselves are quick. The top speed in this game is like playing 150cc all the time. Now, let me tell you about the most amazing, and the thing that I love the most about this game is the way the gimmick works. Now, it's called Cross Worlds, and what that means is it follows the same pattern. Is lap 1, you race around the racetrack that you've chosen or that has been chosen for you. And at the end of lap 1, you get a straightaway, and there'll be 2 portals. One of them will have another world in it, and the other portal will have mystery, we don't know. And if you're in first place, you get to choose, do we go to this one or that one? And whatever you choose, you're taken to a completely different racetrack, which could be a unique racetrack, which is linear, or it could be a circuit racetrack, which will appear in Grand Prix and stuff like that. You do one lap of that, and then you enter another portal which sends you back to the first, the map that you did the first lap on, and you complete the third lap on there. And this pattern is repeated. And the load speed that they've managed to pull off is crazy. This is kind of unimaginable before, but obviously the graphics and the frame rate and everything is so good in this game that going through a portal and being transported to a completely different level with seemingly no loading, or they hide it very well, it's fantastic. It's kind of like that Ratchet and Clank game when the PS5 came out. Although this is not only on PS5, it's on PC, so I don't know how that. I don't know if it's using the same SSD technology on PC, but anyway, that whole race setup is what makes it so much fun. I love the characters. The music, it feels like the music is good, but they made the beats per minute too fast. They accidentally turned it up by 20 and forgot to turn it down. The online, I have to tell you, I don't play online games very much. The last thing I played was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I think last Christmas, and I kind of got into that, but not deeply. I really got into the online in this. They have the same leveling up system that Mario Kart Wii had, and that was a huge one for me. Basically, everyone has points, and if you win, you get more points. If you lose points. And I love this type of leveling up system. I love the fact that you can lose XP, because it really gives you an accurate readout of what your actual skill level is, which leads to you being matched with people of similar skill level, which is the best for an online game. I don't want people dominating me. I don't want to dominate people. I just want to be with people who are similarly skill matched. And I think I've reached that point now. I'm not really progressing. I'm not really losing XP. I'm just kind of stuck at this tier, which is fine. That's what I want. And let me tell you, when you're playing against human players, it's a rush. Everyone is so talented, you know. So you could be first or you could be last, but it's like, well, that's the game. There is tactics into building a build. I personally, this feels real boring, but I use Sonic and his speed tiered vehicle, which is like saying I use Mario in Mario Kart. It's it's a bit different in Sonic. There's still some respect if you actually use Sonic. I stick with him. I use Knuckles sometimes in a power vehicle. There is advantage to using power over speed. The one I've never touched is boosts. I just don't like him. I don't like the boost class. I don't think this very fun. The boost characters ride on a kind of like a surfboard, like in Sonic Riders. The other thing I'd like to say is the support that they've given to this game post-launch has been great. There hasn't been a hiccup in the online, and often on Fridays they would launch a new themed championship, which is kind of like a free battle pass, which has name tags, stickers, a horn, and various other boosts, like you get some XP or currency. And they always theme it around the new character. So most recently there's been a Knights from Nights into Dreams one. There's been Persona, there's been SpongeBob Fest. I bought the season pass, so all of these characters feel free to me, but there's paid ones and free ones. And they've recently announced more free ones, which includes Tangle and Whisper from IDW Sonic, the comic, which is great to see. I love those two characters. I also saw they're in Sonic Rumble, although I don't know which they came to first, but it's cool to see IDW comic characters appearing in a game. It doesn't happen often. Anyway, that's my game of the year. I knew it as soon as I saw it. I couldn't deny it. This is probably going to be game of the year. And then when I played it, it kind of confirmed it. I will say there's games I haven't played this year that I should have, which maybe would reach up the top there, like Clair Obscur. I didn't play Ghost of Yotei. So who knows? They may have been the games of the year, but personally, I didn't gravitate towards them. I gravitated towards the Dynasty Warriors games and the Sonic games and the games that are like Vampire Survivors. So yeah, that's pretty much where I land. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I'm starting to lose my voice, which tells me this video is probably quite long. If you've made it to this point, I want to say thank you personally. I hope you had a nice 2025. I wish you a really nice 2026. Let's keep playing games. Let's keep talking about games. Thank you. Thank you very much.